That time I got reincarnated as a fox? By Rimu_Kai. 9 Dwargon. 2. Kainella's crush. The Dwargon guards marched Rimuru, Kaijin, and the brothers into the trial hall, their clinking armor trying to sound intimidating but only managing to sound like a particularly grumpy wind chime. Rimuru, now in his full human form, tall, lean, and every bit the smug dragonoid nine-tailed fox overlord he believed himself to be, strolled along like he was heading to a tea party. Despite his status, only one tail shimmered behind him, glowing faintly, its lazy swish a casual declaration of, "I'm too cool for this nonsense." The hall itself was unnecessarily grandiose, a monument to Dwargon's love of overcompensating. Everything gleamed as though the kingdom's treasury had been emptied on polish alone. At the far end of the chamber sat King Gazel Dwargo, whose resting king face screamed, "I tolerate zero nonsense, too bad for him." Nonsense was Rimuru's specialty. Guard 1 slammed the butt of his spear on the marble floor, the echo booming across the hall like a melodramatic thunderclap. Everyone bowed down to the hero King Gazel. The dwarves in the room didn't hesitate. It was like someone had choreographed their kneeling routine. They dropped in unison with so much zeal that Rimuru half expected a drumroll to accompany it. Everyone bowed, except Rimuru. The dragonoid remained standing, hands in his pockets, his singular tail still swaying lazily behind him. His golden eyes glinted with playful defiance. Then, to everyone's horror, Rimuru yawned. Not just any yawn, a theatrical, drawn-out yawn complete with a little stretch. He even added a soft, satisfied sigh at the end. Guard 2 turned, his expression somewhere between, "I'm furious," and, "Am I allowed to scream at this guy?" His finger jabbed toward Rimuru. You fluffy person. Bow right now." Rimuru cocked his head slightly, as if genuinely confused. "Fluffy person? That's a new one." He chuckled softly, "But no thanks. Bowing's bad for my back." "For the king," the guard bellowed. "Show some respect, you oversized cat with a glowy tail." Rimuru blinked slowly, as though the insult physically pained him. "Oversized cat? I will have you know I'm a dragonoid fox. And this tail?" He flicked it once, the motion precise and deliberate, causing the guard to flinch like he'd been slapped. "This tail is a status symbol. It's not my fault your tail budget was clearly zero." Guard 3 stepped forward, practically foaming at the mouth. "Do you even know who you're talking to? This is a courtroom, not a playground." Rimuru leaned forward ever so slightly, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Do you know who you're talking to?" His smirk grew impossibly wider. "I am Rimuru Tempest, the dragonoid nine-tailed fox. Using only one tail for your kingdom's sake, might I add. Future demon lord. Connoisseur of chaos. Destroyer of egos. If you keep annoying me, I'll turn this entire kingdom into a noodle bar." One tail swipe, and boom, ramen everywhere. The guards stared, too stunned to even form a coherent response. In Rimuru's mind, Raphael chimed in with her usual deadpan delivery. "Open double-angle bracket master, your threats lack strategic coherence. Also, a noodle bar is not a credible deterrent. Shall I assist with a more effective display of power? Close double-angle bracket." "Oh, please do," Rimuru replied mentally, practically vibrating with excitement, "and make it unnecessarily extra." Open double-angle bracket understood. Amplifying aura now. Initiating display. Close double-angle bracket. The air in the room thickened as Rimuru's single tail began to glow brighter. It stretched upward, growing larger and shimmering like molten gold. Then, with Raphael's enhancements, the tail became an illusionary monolith. It loomed behind Rimuru like an ancient deity's staff, casting long, dramatic shadows that made the guards visibly sweat. To complete the effect, Raphael added swirling cosmic runes that orbited the tail, emitting a low hum that sounded like a mix of a bass drop and a very judgmental gong. One guard screamed, "What kind of monster uses just one tail to flex?" before fainting on the spot. Another guard dropped his weapon and fled, muttering something about quitting his job and becoming a florist. Even King Gazel's eye twitched slightly, though he stayed composed. Barely. With the room in chaos, Rimuru crossed his arms, his expression the perfect blend of smugness and nonchalance. "I hope you've learned a valuable lesson today, dwarves. Never underestimate a fox. Even one using just one tail. Next time, though, I'll unleash. He paused dramatically. A massive pillow fort, just to spite you. Raphael, still in his mind, added dryly, open double angle bracket. Shall I include plans for structural reinforcements? Close double angle bracket. Oh, absolutely, Rimuru thought back. I want it unbreakable. Finally, King Gazel rose from his throne. His movement alone was enough to silence the chaos in the room. With a single gesture, he dispelled the amplified aura around Rimuru's tail, leaving the illusion to vanish in a glittering puff of light. The king's gaze fixed firmly on Rimuru. Enough, he said, his tone like a crack of thunder. You've had your fun, but this trial isn't a stage for your ridiculous antics. Rimuru shrugged, unbothered. Ridiculous? Your Majesty, I think you mean memorable. You've never had a trial this entertaining, admit it. Gazel sighed heavily, rubbing his temples. If I had a gold coin for every insufferable being like you. You'd have exactly 1 coin, Rimuru interrupted cheerfully, because I'm one of a kind. As the trial resumed, the guards remained unusually quiet, their gazes darting nervously toward Rimuru's tail. Meanwhile, Rimuru leaned toward Kaijin and whispered, worth it. Kaijin groaned. We're so doomed. Rimuru just winked. After King Gazel restored order to the court, the trial finally resumed, though the atmosphere was less about law and more about whether Rimuru was going to accidentally break the kingdom with sheer audacity. Rimuru, standing tall with one glowing tail lazily swishing behind him, had a slight smirk as if he were the main character in a sitcom nobody else knew was happening. Kaijin and his brothers looked ready to dig their own graves, while the guards eyed Rimuru like they were reconsidering all of their life choices. The charges were read aloud by a guard whose confidence faltered the moment he caught Rimuru's golden gaze. Kaijin and his brothers are accused of assaulting Vesta and disrupting public order. Rimuru Tempest, as an accomplice, is also under suspicion of threatening the kingdom's peace. Rimuru raised a brow. Accomplice? I'm clearly the star of this circus, he thought. But for the sake of decorum, well, little he had, he kept quiet. Vesta, standing tall with all the grace of a soggy sandwich, stepped forward to speak. Your Majesty, Kaijin is nothing but a traitor. He abandoned his duties to this kingdom and then had the audacity to strike me in public. His finger jabbed at Rimuru, trembling slightly. And as for that outsider, his power is reckless and dangerous. He has no place in our kingdom. Kaijin, who had clearly had enough, barked out, that's rich coming from you, Vesta. Sabotaging projects, cutting corners. You've been a disaster since day one. The court gasped. Rimuru, leaning casually on an invisible wall, yawned loudly for maximum drama. Objection. Rimuru called out, despite not being in a courtroom drama. Your Majesty, I'd like to point out that Vesta smells like sour cabbage, and clearly, his accusations are just as rotten. Vesta sputtered incoherently as Rimuru added, also, I'm adorable, so his entire argument is invalid. In Rimuru's mind, Raphael chimed in with perfect deadpan timing. Open double angle bracket master, your statement is statistically incorrect. Adorableness cannot be quantified in a legal setting. Also, Vesta is not technically made of cabbage. Close double angle bracket. Raphael, Rimuru replied mentally, you're supposed to have my back. Open double angle bracket as your ultimate skill. I am obligated to provide logic. You, however, are providing nonsense at an alarming rate. Close double angle bracket. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Rimuru thought sarcastically. Now, let's speed things up with thought acceleration so we can roast this cabbage quicker. Open double angle bracket confirmed. Thought acceleration activated. Please don't use it for petty insults. Close double angle bracket. At last, King Gazel rose from his throne, his sheer presence silencing the room. His gaze swept over Kaijin, the brothers, Vesta, and finally, Rimuru, who stood with a single glowing tail flicking like it was trying to steal the show. Kaijin, Gazel began, his voice steady. You left your post and brought disgrace to my kingdom. However, his sharp eyes pinned Vesta to the spot. Your behavior tonight has exposed a pattern of failure I can no longer overlook. Vesta's face turned the color of boiled beetroot. Why, Your Majesty, I. Enough. Gazel cut him off. You are hereby dismissed from your position. Vesta froze, his jaw hanging open like a fish that had just realized it was out of water. Turning to Kaijin, Gazel's tone softened slightly. Your loyalty to the kingdom has not wavered, despite your actions. I will take that into account. Finally, his attention landed on Rimuru. And you are an enigma. Your power is reckless and your behavior absurd, but your loyalty to Kaijin is commendable. You are free to go, but consider this a warning. Rimuru's grin widened. Noted, Your Majesty. Oh, and if you ever want to borrow my glow, just let me know. Gazel sighed heavily, pinching the bridge of his nose. Take them and leave before I change my mind. As they left the trial hall, Kaijin turned to Rimuru, a mix of gratitude and disbelief on his face. How did you pull that off? Rimuru shrugged, his single tail flicking like a lazy metronome. What can I say? I'm just built different. Kaijin groaned. You nearly got us all executed. Nearly, Rimuru corrected, but didn't. So, technically, I win. Raphael's voice chimed in. Open double-angle bracket master, your antics have depleted your energy reserves. I recommend deactivating the glowing tail before you pass out and collapse like a particularly dramatic toddler. Close double-angle bracket. Oh, come on, Raphael, Rimuru thought back. The glow's important for my aesthetic. Open double-angle bracket. Your aesthetic is secondary to survival. I suggest switching to Fluff Fortress if you wish to maintain visual appeal without wasting energy. Close double-angle bracket. Rimuru sighed and reluctantly dimmed the glow, muttering, Fine. But you owe me some sparkles later. Kaijin and his brothers exchanged weary glances. We're doomed, aren't we? Rimuru shot them a wink. Only if you can't keep up. As they left the palace, Rimuru's mind was already racing with plans for his next misadventure. Because why settle for peace when chaos was so much more fun? As Rimuru prepared to leave with Kaijin and his brothers, a familiar, overly serious voice echoed in his mind. Open double-angle bracket master, I must remind you that this trial's outcome aligns with events recorded in the novel you claim to be adapting. However, you have neglected a key moment. Discussing your plan to create a nation with King Gazel. Close double-angle bracket. Raphael. Do you really think now's the time? Rimuru groaned internally. I just had to outfox a room full of angry dwarves. Can't I have a moment to bask in my glorious victory? Open double-angle bracket. No such procrastination is unbecoming of one with your supposed intelligence. Failure to discuss your aspirations may result in an inaccurate narrative and potential diplomatic disaster. Close double-angle bracket. Rimuru sighed aloud, earning curious glances from Kaijin and his brothers. Fine, I'll bring it up if it comes up. Happy now, bossy pants? Open double-angle bracket. Your compliance is satisfactory, master. However, I suggest reviewing your approach to ensure your future objectives align with narrative coherence. Close double-angle bracket. Narrative coherence. What am I, a protagonist or a motivational speaker? Open double-angle bracket. Technically, both. Though your execution lacks finesse. Close double-angle bracket. Keep it up, Raphael. I'll make you explain my Fluff Fortress skill to everyone next time. Before Raphael could deliver another lecture, a beautiful young woman appeared, her steps graceful yet hurried. She approached Rimuru, her cheeks already tinged pink as if someone had dared her to walk straight into a rom-com. Rimuru Tempest, she said, her voice as soft as a marshmallow but laced with authority. His Majesty has requested a private audience with you. Kaijin looked concerned. You sure you didn't tick him off too much? Rimuru smirked. Me? Tick people off? Never, I just leave memorable impressions. Turning to the brothers, he added, Don't wait up. I'll either return victorious or need a dramatic rescue. Either way, it'll be entertaining. Kaijin groaned, muttering, We're doomed, as Rimuru strode off with the girl. As they walked through the palace corridors, the girl's gaze kept darting toward Rimuru's swishing tail like it was the eighth wonder of the world. Her cheeks grew redder with every glance. Finally, she couldn't hold it in anymore. Is your tail real? Rimuru turned, his golden eyes sparkling with amusement. You bet. 100% authentic, grade a foxtail. Why? Thinking of getting one yourself. Her blush deepened. It's so majestic. Can I touch it? Rimuru chuckled, his tail swishing playfully. Sure, knock yourself out. It's not every day you get to pet something this fabulous. With trembling hands, she reached out and gently ran her fingers through the silky fur. Her eyes widened in awe. It's like a cloud made of dreams. Rimuru's grin widened. Yep. Tail care is serious business. Shampoo, conditioner, a little divine essence. Bam, perfection. In Rimuru's mind, Raphael's voice sounded as icy as a snowstorm in Antarctica. Open double angle bracket master. This interaction is entirely unnecessary and a waste of resources. Allowing frivolous contact with your tail serves no tactical purpose. Close double angle bracket. Tactical purpose? Raphael, she's just appreciating my greatness. You should try it sometime. Open double angle bracket. My purpose is to ensure your success, not indulge in meaningless flattery. Furthermore, her actions are excessive. Close double angle bracket. Excessive? She's just petting the tail? Are you jealous? Open double angle bracket. Jealousy is an illogical emotion. However, I question the allocation of energy used to maintain your tail's glow. This interaction is draining your magical reserves. Cease it immediately. Close double angle bracket. Relax, Raphael. You're acting like I handed her the keys to the Void Empire. Open double angle bracket. At this rate, you might as well. Close double angle bracket. Come on, admit it. You're jealous. Open double angle bracket. Master, your ability to misinterpret data is astonishing. Jealousy does not factor into my calculations. I merely disapprove of her frivolous fondling of what should remain an untouchable tactical asset. Close double angle bracket. Rimuru snickered aloud, earning a confused glance from the girl. Don't mind me, he said, waving her off. Just arguing with my overly dramatic inner voice. Finally, they arrived at a grand, ornately carved door, the entrance to King Gazel's private chambers. Well, this is where I leave you, the girl said, her voice tinged with both shyness and regret. Good luck, Rimuru Tempest. Before he could respond, she leaned up and planted a quick kiss on his cheek. Bye, she squeaked, turning and scurrying away like a flustered squirrel. Rimuru stood frozen for a moment, his golden eyes wide and his cheek still warm. Open double angle bracket. Master. That was entirely inappropriate. Again. Close double angle bracket. Oh, come on, Raphael. It was just a goodbye kiss. No big deal. Open double angle bracket. No big deal. Physical contact of that nature is entirely unnecessary. You are a ruler, not a subject for romantic experimentation. Close double angle bracket. Romantic experimentation? Raphael, do you even hear yourself? You sound like a jealous ex. Open double angle bracket. I am merely prioritizing efficiency. Her behavior is a distraction and poses no strategic value. Furthermore, her departure has left your face slightly flushed, indicating a physiological reaction. This is suboptimal. Close double angle bracket. Admit it. You're jealous. Open double angle bracket. For the last time, I do not experience jealousy. However, her actions are infuriatingly audacious. Close double angle bracket. It's okay, Raphael. Next time someone tries to kiss me, I'll let you handle it. What's the worst that could happen? Open double angle bracket. Statistically, the worst outcome would involve catastrophic social fallout and a potential diplomatic crisis. Close double angle bracket. Geez, you're dramatic. No wonder you're my ultimate skill. With Raphael grumbling indignantly in his mind, Rimuru knocked on the king's door, ready for whatever chaos awaited him inside. Rimuru knocked on the royal office door with his tail wagging lazily like he was at a house party. From inside came the deep, ultra-serious voice of King Gazel. Enter. Pushing the door open, Rimuru strutted in like he owned the place. King Gazel sat behind his oversized desk, radiating that "I'm too cool for this" energy. His beard shimmered in the sunlight, practically screaming Stoic King's weekly, November issue. Rimuru's inner thoughts immediately derailed. Man, this guy has got to share his beard oil secrets. Take a seat, Gazel said, gesturing with the grandeur of someone who definitely practices his moves in front of a mirror. Rimuru plopped into the chair like a sack of jelly. All right, your majesty of muscles, what's this about? Did Veldora eat your snacks? Because if so, I'm totally innocent-ish. Gazel's eyebrow twitched, but he powered through like a true professional. No, this is about something important. Rimuru tilted his head, tail wagging. Couldn't you just text me? Or, send a raven? Gazel let out the sigh of a man questioning his choices. I placed a spy to observe you. Rimuru's eyes lit up with amusement. Oh, you mean Kynella? Yeah, we've met. She's about as stealthy as a hippo in roller skates. Gazel's stoic mask cracked. You knew? Rimuru shrugged. Of course. Raphael's been giving me live commentary on her tragic attempts at sneaking. Raphael chimed in smugly. Open double angle bracket master, it was like watching a toddler play hide and seek in a glass house. Close double angle bracket. Mentally, Rimuru high-fived Raphael. Thanks for the heads up, buddy. Gazel, trying to recover his pride, shifted gears. Your healing potion. Kynella reported it. I want details. Rimuru's eyes narrowed. Wait. You believed her? Bold move, Gazel. Bold move. Gazel scowled. Don't dodge the question. It's supposedly 99% effective. Explain. 99.9999%, actually, Rimuru corrected, looking smug. But hey, who's counting? How? Gazel demanded, gripping his armrests like they owed him money. Even our finest alchemists can't replicate that. Rimuru leaned in, dropping his voice dramatically. It's because I'm just built different. Raphael immediately protested. Open double angle bracket master, that explanation is neither logical nor factual. Shall I provide, close double angle bracket? Nah, let's keep the mystery alive. It's more fun this way, Rimuru thought back. Gazel's patience was fraying, but he pushed forward. What are your plans, Rimuru Tempest? Raphael jumped in like an overzealous GPS. Open double angle bracket master, now is the time to promote Tempest. Execute the plan. Close double angle bracket. Rimuru ignored the micromanaging and grinned at Gazel. Funny you should ask, I'm planning to start a nation. A monster-human paradise. Think Disneyland, but with fewer screaming children and more karaoke diplomacy. A nation, ruled by monsters? Gazel asked, blinking like he misheard. Yep. We'll have gourmet food, peace, and maybe pudding festivals. Pretty sweet, huh? Gazel stared, his royal brain buffering. Do you even hear yourself? Raphael chimed in with dry precision. Open double angle bracket master, there is a 67% chance he thinks you're insane. Close double angle bracket. He's not wrong, Rimuru thought. As Rimuru got up to leave, Gazel stopped him. Wait. Take Kynella with you. Rimuru blinked. Why? You trying to pawn her off on me? Gazel smirked faintly. She requested it. Something about wanting to assist you directly. Rimuru snorted. Ah, the classic spy-turned-sidekick move. Fine, but if she trips again, I'm charging you for emotional damage. Outside the office, Kynella was waiting. The moment Rimuru appeared, she blushed so hard it was visible from space. Without warning, she darted forward and kissed him on the cheek. Rimuru froze. Was that part of the royal protocol? Kynella fumbled for an answer, looking like a malfunctioning wind-up toy. It's for good luck. Then she bolted like a terrified rabbit. Raphael hissed in Rimuru's mind, practically spitting with jealousy. Open double angle bracket master, why does she get to kiss you? This is highly irregular. Close double angle bracket. Relax, Raphael, Rimuru thought. It's not like you. Oh wait, you can't even. Open double angle bracket irrelevant. Close double angle bracket on the journey back. Kynella somehow glued herself to Rimuru's left arm, clinging like a koala on caffeine. Kaijin was the first to notice. Hey, Rimuru, new fashion statement? Garm smirked. Seems like she's taken a liking to the boss. Kaido grinned. Yeah, she's holding on like he's made of candy. Kynella, face still red, stammered, it's for safety reasons. Kaijin burst out laughing. Right, because hugging his arm will totally protect him. Rimuru, dense as ever, waved it off. You guys are overthinking this. She's just nervous. Kynella muttered under her breath, it's not just that. Raphael, meanwhile, had officially reached meltdown mode. Open double angle bracket master, this behavior is unacceptable. I should be the one closest to you. Close double angle bracket. Wait, what? Rimuru thought, eyebrows shooting up. Realizing her slip, Raphael panicked. Open double angle bracket correction. That statement was an error. Forget it. Close double angle bracket. Oh no, I heard you loud and clear, Rimuru teased. Open double angle bracket master, I repeat, you must have misheard. Perhaps you should have your hearing examined. Close double angle bracket. Rimuru smirked. So Raphael's a jealous hugger now? Noted. As they reached the teleportation circle, Rimuru sighed. All right, everyone, hold on tight. Kaijin muttered, she's already holding tighter than a dwarf at happy hour. The spell activated, and in a flash, they were back in Tempest. Kainella stumbled but somehow managed to stay latched to Rimuru's arm. Garm laughed. Rimuru, you've got yourself a new arm ornament, Kaijin added. Think she's permanent now? Kaido grinned. Maybe you should charge rent. Rimuru groaned. You guys are impossible. Let's just focus on building Tempest. Karaoke diplomacy waits for no one, Raphael, sulking, muttered. Open double angle bracket master, this is far from over. Close double angle bracket Rimuru chuckled inwardly. Oh, I'm counting on it.